Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. Right back into Smartlands, Sotheby's International Realty, Smartlands to tokenize luxury properties. Smartlands, a Benzinga Global FinTech Awards nominee that specializes in the issue of asset-backed digital securities, signed a cooperation agreement with UK Sotheby's International Realty, a global estate agency network over the experimental tokenization of luxury real estate. And if you are not familiar with Sotheby's International, feel free to check them out on YouTube, as they have absolutely stunning and amazingly beautiful large square foot luxury homes. Collaboration with Smartlands will help us explore how innovative tech can help us add value to our proposition, said Robin Patterson, chairman and CEO at UK Sotheby's International Realty. With this approach, the benefits for international sellers and buyers are immense. Smartlands is transforming the value exchange on a global level, creating a wide array of opportunities for private, high net worth individuals, allowing them to find each other easily, create offers, issue equity, diversify portfolios, and grow their wealth without ever having to lift their fingers off the computer keyboard or a mobile device. The development comes alongside Smartlands' successful implementation of a proprietary solution that enables fractional ownership in virtually any asset class. The Sotheby's centuries-old tradition and Smartlands' technological edge is a perfect combination for creating a completely transparent global network of highly sophisticated investors in luxury property markets, said Smartlands CEO Ilya Obratskov. Now the pilot project will allow for the exploration of opportunities related to the issuance of digital shares, the security tokens, representing ownership rights for real estate properties managed by Sotheby's. Next up, we have an article stating Smartlands to utilize investment fund structure based on Liechtenstein law. The blockchain-based global investment and digital banking ecosystem Smartlands has announced its plans of expanding its legal framework in a bid to create a broader set of options for high net worth individuals. The company is expected to utilize the investment fund structure based on the Liechtenstein legislation under the EU regulatory directives. This will help Smartlands in aligning itself with the interests of high net worth individuals, family offices, and institutional investors. Crowdfunding is a very exciting area of fundraising, particularly in the UK, with the country's dense financial markets and tight regulations. Those preconditions allow us to involve all types of retail investors in campaigns for tokenized shares in virtually any asset class, said Yaroslava Tkalik, Smartlands CMO. The company has also announced its plans to tokenize the first investment fund with £50 million in assets during the first 2 quarters of 2020. Ilya Obratskov, Smartlands CEO, said, "We're excited about the possibilities the Liechtenstein Blockchain Act presents to investors and issuers in regards to direct tokenization of any asset using blockchain tokens as containers for any assets. Armed with cutting-edge legislation for investment funds, the Liechtenstein jurisdiction is ideal for structuring basically any financial product on blockchain there may be. Liechtenstein SICAVs for open-ended funds are industry standard and one of the most popular types of funds in the EU. SICAVs can be used as umbrella funds for multiple sub-funds. Founded in 2017 in the UK, Smartlands is a platform facilitating the tokenization of real economy assets by issuing security tokens. Next article we have is the University of Oxford. Tokenization offers exciting possibilities for real estate but cautious on single assets. Smartlands counters theses. The security tokens and real estates. Recently, the University of Oxford published a paper on digital assets and real estate entitled Tokenization: The Future of Real Estate Investment? ? The document believes there is potential in tokenizing the popular asset class, but also sees certain challenges. For example, the tokenization of property as an investment will not take place overnight. Additionally, using blockchain technology to tokenize funds may be a more advantageous approach going forward than single assets, according to the authors. According to the report, fractionalization and tokenization of single assets, debt, and funds may struggle, at least initially. The case for the digital tokenization of single real estate assets is that real estate is lumpy and illiquid, and that investors should be able to participate in the ownership of a broader universe of assets. Here, there too, confined to the wealthy and institutions, and to build diversified portfolios with modest sums of money. The challenge for proponents of the digital tokenization of single real estate assets is that two radical developments have to be simultaneously accepted. First, there needs to be an expressed demand for the fractionalization of single real estate assets. Evidence of this is at best sketchy, both through history and in the current period. Second, market participants need to be comfortable with blockchain, the digital underpinning of tokenization. It is absolutely true that tokenization of assets is in its infancy and demand remains muted. At the same time, there is an emerging consensus that securities and more esoteric asset classes will benefit from the digitization process that can remove intrinsic friction, reducing cost while improving liquidity. Ilya Obraztsov, the CEO of Smartlands, a digital securities issuance and investment platform that is currently offering tokenized real estate offerings, note that mass adoption of new technologies doesn't happen overnight. 10 years ago, everyone was used to writing checks. Now this payment method is becoming extinct, accounting for only 1% of transactions in the UK, says Obraztsov. Electronic payments are simply faster and more convenient. But it took years to develop the technology infrastructure, build trust, and lead the consumers to go mobile. Obraztsov believes that blockchain is a relatively young technology that is visionary. The tech has many applications within the real economy, including real estate. Just imagine one of the most illiquid assets out there is turned into a tradable security. No more paper records. All transactions are instant and recorded into an immutable smart contract with a timestamp. Automated compliance, more cost-effective investing, and reduced fees thanks to removal of some of the middlemen and a more efficient back office. Enhanced liquidity coming from a greater number of investors on the market. The list can go long, Obraztsov says. And to add to that, that has been a great concern of many of the people involved on all levels of real estate, is sometimes it's even more difficult to find institutional buildings where they can't even find and locate, at least not very easily, who owns the building. But at least with blockchain, you will find all of the information fully and efficiently detailed and time-stamped. So it will make much of the real estate much more detailed, efficient, and smooth operation as far as the business aspect of that goes, or I should say the institutional investing side as well. He is the opinion that a key argument in the support of tokenization is the lower barrier to entry for investors to gain access to institutional grade deals and higher yielding opportunities to individual investors. This is where fractionalization of single assets is win, says Obraztsov. In the case with a tokenized fund, there are management fees which are then reflected in the fees paid by investors, while for a single property, it's not the case. Next, Raising funds through tokenization is a mode of crowdfunding that has a regulated limit. In Europe, if the funding target exceeds 8 million euro, which is likely the case for a fund, not a single property, a prospectus needs to be filed, which again results in more operational expenses, higher fees for investors. Ozbratsov explains. Raising funds through tokenization is a mode of crowdfunding that has a regulated limit. In Europe, if the funding target exceeds 8 million euros, a prospectus needs to be filed, hence higher fees for investors. Also, too, if you have more paperwork, there's more of a time schedule and delay where many investors would like to just basically pay and move on with their deal without having to wait weeks, months, or possibly even extended to a year. Obraztsov adds that the report correctly notes that there needs to be an express demand and that investing is indeed one of the most conservative spaces. However, he believes there is a new generation of investors, early adopters, who successfully leverage tech innovations to make investment decisions, and they will become the key driver of changes. Millennials and Gen Z are tech natives, and we believe that they would love to choose their own discretion from a menu of different assets in the app or their smartphone. Obraztsov says to effectively tokenize single properties, issuance platforms need to provide a standardized framework and presentation of information, making it easy to compare the options and make a decision. Obraztsov believes that given the asset tokenization of a mode of crowdfunding, investments is less than 2 years old, he believes things are off to a good start. There is already a legal framework for tokenization of real estate. The technology is ready. There is proof of concept and first success cases. Such a giant as UK Sotheby's International Realty is tokenizing a luxury property in London in collaboration with Smartlands as Obraztsov. While much still needs to be done in terms of regulations and infrastructure development, it's important to remember we've seen 100 times how technology has revolutionized industry. And now blockchain is the next big disruptor. Again, guys, if you have not seen the previous video, Smartlands is a partner of Stellar. Stellar is XLM, and this is great for investors. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. That's kind of the focus on today's thoughts. And again, guys, this is not financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. And whatever you do, keep moving forward. Until the next one.